Hello everyone, myself Srivali, working as an assistant professor in MLR Institute of Technology in the Department of Data Science and Cyber Security. Today, the Oreo presentation includes least, greatest, minimal and maximal elements, upper bounds and lower bounds, greatest lower bounds, least upper bounds. So here we can also call greatest lower bounds as GLB and least upper bound as also called as LUB. So today, let us understand each and every one. So first one is elements of a poset. So first let us understand what are the elements of a poset. So here the elements of a poset are least element, greatest elements, minimal elements and maximal elements. So here in this Hasse diagram, we will be calling the elements of poset are called least, greatest, minimal and maximal elements. So here, what is meant by least element? How you can consider the particular element in the Hasse diagram is called as a least element. So here, unique bottom element in the Hasse diagram. So in the last session, we have already discussed how to draw the Hasse diagram. So for the particular Hasse diagram, we will be assigning the least element, greatest element, minimal elements and maximal elements. Means for the particular Hasse diagram, so the question will be asked as how to find out the least elements, greatest elements, minimal and maximal elements. So out of this, first one is least element. So the unique bottom element. So in the Hasse diagram, whichever the last bottom element is there, that bottom element we can call it as the unique bottom element we can call it as that is least element. So here you need to understand here the unique one means always you should have the least element as only one. So that one element we can call it as unique bottom element and that is called as least element. So next we have greatest element. So unique topmost element in the Hasse diagram. So obviously for the Hasse diagram, what is the bottom element that is called as least element? Whatever the top element, topmost element that is called as greatest element. But that element, whichever you are going to consider, it should be always unique. Means the one element, the single element, we can call it as either least element or greatest element. So here, next we have minimal elements. So all bottom elements of the Hasse diagram. So here if you understand here, in the definition itself, in the least, greatest and minimal, maximal. So in the least we have the unique and here in the minimal you have all. Minimal, maximal you have all. So that is nothing but, so from this only we can understand that always you will have least and greatest elements as only one element and minimal, maximal you can have more than one also. It can be one or more than one also. So here minimal elements are all bottom elements of Hasse diagram and maximal elements are all topmost elements of the Hasse diagram are called maximal elements. So here for example, we are taking one example here. So what is the example Hasse diagram here? 1, 2, 3, 6, 12. So here, so if you observe as 1 is divisible by 2 and divisible by 3, that's why we have a connection with 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So now if you observe as 2 is divisible by 3, 6 here, that is nothing but as we have the connection here 2 to 6, we can say that 2 and 6 are divisibility is there and they are connected. That's why there is a line between 2 and 6. And in between 3 and 6 also there is a line, there is a connectivity. Why? Because here 6 is divisible by 3, 6 is divisible by 2. So that's why we have a connection. But if you observe carefully here, we don't have any connection between, we don't have any relation between 2 and 3. Why? Because 2 is not divisible by 3 and 3 is not divisible by 2. So that's why there is no connection between 2 and 3 here. So next we have 6. 6 is divisible by 12. So that is nothing but 6 and 12 are divisibility options we are having. That's why there is a connection between 12 and 6 also. So now if you observe here, so we don't have connection between 1 and 6 and we don't have connection between 1 and 12 and no connection between 2 and 12 and 3 and 12. But even though they are connected, so that is nothing but if you have A comma B and B comma C, so no need of A to C connectivity as this is a partial order relation. So what does mean by partial order relation is a relation which satisfies reflexive, antisymmetric and also transitive That is called partial order relation. So the representation, the pictorial representation of the partial order relation is called Hasse diagram. That these are all we have discussed in the previous classes itself. So that is nothing but, so as we have here AB and BC, so no need to give here connection between A comma C, as we have a transitive edge from this Hasse diagram. So that's why we are not giving any connection between 1 to 6 or 1 to 12. So why? Because if you have connection between 1 to 2, 2 to 6, indirectly we have the connection between 1 and 6, but we are not giving the direct edge from 1 to 6, as we have indirect connectivity here. In the same way, it is applicable to 2 to 6, 6 to 12. So here 2 to 6, 6 to 12 is nothing but 2 to 12 only. So we are not giving any direct edge between 2 and 12 also. So this is what actually Hasse diagram, where it follows some points also. So this is, we already know that this is a Hasse diagram, and we already know how to draw the Hasse diagram from the last sessions. Now, for this particular Hasse diagram, we need to find out least element, greatest element, minimal elements and maximal elements. So here, how to find out the least element, greatest, minimal and maximal elements. So here, what is the first one? Least element, which is nothing but the unique bottom element in the Hasse diagram. Now, if you carefully observe here, in this Hasse diagram, the unique bottom element, so the bottom element is what here? 1. And what is this one? Is it unique, or we have another all numbers also in the bottom? So as we have only one element, one single element, unique element in the bottom, then we can say that this is a unique bottom element, and we can say that this is called least element. This is called least element. In the same way, the greatest element. What is the greatest element for the particular Hasse diagram? So unique topmost element in Hasse diagram is called the greatest element. So just observe here, what are the topmost elements which are found in the Hasse diagram. So 12 is only one, which is the topmost element. As it is only unique element, we can say that this is called greatest element. So then, what are minimal elements and maximal elements? So here, all bottom elements. So if you observe here, all bottom elements means, since we have only one bottom element, this itself it is called minimal elements. In the same way, maximal elements, all topmost elements of the Hasse diagram are called maximal elements. And here also, as we have only one bottom element, and this itself greatest element is called maximal element. So for this Hasse diagram, these are least minimal maximal elements. These are least minimal elements, and these are greatest maximal elements. So here, in the same way, if we consider one more example here. So let us suppose here, this is one Hasse diagram. So let us suppose this is 1, 2, 3, 6, 12, 24, 36. So here again we can take it as 72 also. So now if you observe, this is one Hasse diagram. So how you can find out whether we have the connection or not? So whether they are divisible or not, we need to check. So 2 is 2 to 6 and 3 to 6, they are divisible. 6 is divisible by 2 and 3. Yes, we have a connection. As 2 and 3 are not divisibility, so that's why we don't have any connection also. And 12 is divisible by 6, and 36 and 24 are divisible by 12. That's why there is a connection here. 72 is divisible by 36, 72 is divisible by 24 also. So if you observe carefully here, this is a Hasse diagram. Now for this Hasse diagram, we need to find out what are least elements, what are greatest elements, what are minimal elements and maximal elements. So now here if we observe, least means, as per the definition here, the unique bottom element. So if we observe here, the bottom elements are 2, 3. Means we have more than one. So that's why here there is no least element for this particular Hasse diagram. So you can write here no least element. And for the greatest element, the unique topmost element. So here top element is what? 72 here. So directly you can write it here as 72. Next we have minimal elements. What are minimal elements here? So as we have more than one, so these are 2, 3 are minimal elements. And maximal element, since we have only one, you can write it as 72 itself is called maximal element. So this is like how you can find out the Hasse diagram here. So here least elements can be minimal and maximal elements. That means least greatest elements can be minimal maximal elements, whereas minimal maximal elements, they cannot be least and greatest elements. So here let us see one more example here. So for example, here we have A to B connectivity. So now for this is one Hasse diagram. So for this we have to find out least, greatest, minimal and maximal elements. So here least element obviously B, greatest element is obviously top element is called A. So as they are unique, that's why we are taking here B and A, that they are single or unique elements in top and bottom. Now minimal elements, so the same elements we can call it as minimal elements are called B, which is nothing but least element. Maximal elements are called A, which is nothing but only greatest element we have. Now we have another Hasse diagram also. So here least element. So if we observe here P, Q, R, in the bottom we are having more than one element, that is called P comma Q. So we don't have least element for this, since P and Q are incomparable. So as they are incomparable, we are not giving any connection. And not only that, we should have only a single, that is nothing but unique bottom element, but we have both P comma Q. So that's why they are not least elements. Now greatest element is called R. So as we have only a single unique great element, top element here. Minimal elements, what are minimal elements here? So P comma Q are minimal elements and maximal elements are only one. So always the greatest element we can call it as maximal elements also. So that means here we have another example also. So if we observe here U, V, W and here again Y, Z. So here if we observe bottom elements are 2 and topmost elements are 2. So that's why here there is no least element and there is no greatest element. So always we have to remember that least and greatest elements can be only a unique element. So now we don't have any least element, we don't have any greatest element. Now for the minimal elements, Y comma Z are minimal, and for maximal elements U comma W. So since we have here more than one here, so that's why there is no least element, there is no greatest element here. So we have only minimal and maximal elements. So next here, how to find out lower bounds, upper bounds and greatest lower bound and also least upper bound. So for the Hasse diagram only, we will be finding all this LB, GB, GLB, LUB also. So here let us understand how to find out this lower bounds, upper bounds, greatest lower bound and least upper bound. So here if P comma less than or equal to, so this less than or equal to is nothing but this is a partial order symbol, symbolical representation, and this P is nothing but it is a non-empty set, partial order non-empty set, and this is a representation of partial order, which is nothing but together we can say that this is called apposite. So if P comma less than or equal to means we will be pronouncing it as less than or equal to, but it is nothing but this is called partial order symbol. So if P comma less than or equal to is a set with partial order and Q comma less than or equal to as a subset of P. So here let us suppose I am taking P comma less than or equal to. So this is one set. Now here Q comma less than or equal to is one more set, but which is a subset of P comma less than or equal to. So the elements of P are called Y. That is Y belongs to P. So here the elements of P means what? This P is a non-empty set. The elements which are presenting in the P, we are treating it as, we are denoting with the Y. This is Y belongs to P. And the elements of Q are called X belongs to Q. Means the elements whichever are present in the Q non-empty set, we are denoting with small x. So X belongs to capital Q. Now, how to find out upper bounds, lower bounds? For every x, if y is always greater than or equal to x, So here for every x means what here? The x is nothing but which belongs to q comma less than or equal to. And if that x element, for every x element, if y is always greater than or equal to x, then we can say that particular y is called upper bound. Means, let us suppose we have some p elements, we are denoting with y. Let us suppose here q elements, which we are denoting with x elements. So, for every x, if y is always greater than or equal to y. So, for every x here, if y is always greater than or equal to x, then we can say that y is always called upper bound. So, here you will be understanding with the help of example only. Why? Because these are somewhat different. But if you understand how to draw the Hasse diagram and if you understand how to find out the elements of a poset, and this is very easy to find out upper, lower and least upper bound and greatest lower bound. So, here next we have lower bound also. So, the same thing but just less than or equal to x. So, for every x, if y is always, see for every x, if y is always less than or equal to x, then y is called here lower bound. So, here, and we also have least upper bound. So, least upper bound is also called as supremum join. And greatest lower bound is also called as infimum and meet. So, what is this least upper bound? How to find out of this lower bounds and upper bounds, how to find out least upper bound and greatest lower bound? So, in upper bound, the nearest element connected to the subset given, then it will be LUB. So, in upper bounds, the nearest element connected to the subset given, then it is called LUB, which is nothing but upper bounds. First, we have to find out the upper bounds. From the upper bounds, whichever the element is nearest to the subset given, that one we can consider as least upper bound. Means only one element we can treat it as LUB, one element we can treat it as greatest lower bound. So here next greatest lower bound. So in lower bounds, the nearest element connected to the subset given, then it will be called as GLB, greatest lower bound. So here, so for example, here you got one x elements which is nothing but q comma less than or equal to, you got p comma less than or equal to, which is called as y. The elements which are belonging to the, so here, so let us suppose here we have p comma less than or equal to and here we have q comma less than or equal to. So the elements which are presenting in the p we are denoting with y, the elements which are presenting in the q we are denoting with x. Now, for every x element, means which are the elements we have here, for every x element, if this y element is greater than or equal to x, if for every x element, if y is greater than or equal to x, then we can say that this y is called upper bound. And if for every x element, if y is always less than or equal to x, then it is called, y is called lower bound. So like this here, you can consider it as, and from this, how you will be getting some set of lower bounds, you will be getting some set of upper bounds here. So here out of this one we can consider it as lower bound and upper bound, GLB and LUB. So here, let us suppose here we have one example. So we have 2, 3, 6, 12, 24, 36. So this is one example here we have taken. This is one Hasse diagram. So for this Hasse diagram, we can find out least, greatest, minimal, maximal also. So here if we observe, the least elements are no least elements. Why? Because there is no single element in the bottom. And greatest elements here, no greatest element as we don't have unique element in the topmost. So, and what are minimal elements here? 2, 3. What are maximal elements here? 24, 36. So, this is like how we can find out least, greatest, minimal, maximal. Now, how to find out lower bounds, upper bounds, LUB and GLB, which is nothing but LUB we can call it as supremum, which is nothing but here join, and greatest lower bound is nothing but infimum here meet. So, now here let us suppose here we have example. So, if at all if you want to find out this least upper bound or greatest lower bounds, first you should have a subset. So, for the particular subset, you have to find out lower bounds, upper bound, GLB and LUB. Now, see here, lower bounds. So, what is the meaning of, see, this is the main original Hasse diagram which we are considering it as p comma less than or equal to. And this is a subset. These are all the subsets here. One subset, second subset and third subset. Means for each subset you are finding out the upper bounds, lower bounds. So now first one is one subset here. And this one, let us suppose I am considering the example. Let us suppose q comma less than or equal to. So here if you observe q comma less than or equal to is a subset here, which is nothing but here 6 to 12. So for this we are finding out the lower bounds, upper bounds, GLB and LUB. So here 6 to 12 means the elements which are presenting in the P are called what? Y elements. Means all elements here we are calling it as Y elements. And the elements which are presenting in the Q are called X elements. I am denoting with X elements, which is nothing but the 6 and 12 are called X elements also. So here, so somewhat it is somewhat difficulty, somewhat it is confusion here to understand. But if you observe carefully, this is very easy to find out lower bounds, upper bounds here. Now this is the original Hasse diagram and this is the subsets of the given Hasse diagram. Now here, as per our example, as per our discussion, in the definition of the Hasse diagram and lower bounds, upper bounds, we are denoting this original Hasse diagram with p comma less than or equal to and this one as q comma less than or equal to. So here, the elements which are presenting in the P, we are denoting with Y. The elements which are presenting with here Q, we are denoting with X. So which is nothing but these are X elements which are presenting in this original Hasse diagram only and these are called Y elements. Now, what are lower bounds? So for every X, if Y is less than or equal to X. So for every X means what here? X elements are what? 6 and 12. So for every this X elements, you should compare all Y elements and the Y elements which are you are getting less than or equal to that X elements, then we can say that those elements are lower bounds. So here for example, X elements are what? 6 and 12. So what is 6? 6 is, if you observe here, if Y is always less than or equal to X. So for every X element means these are X elements and Y elements are 2, 3, 6, 12, 24. So first consider first Y element. Y element is what here? 2. So this 2 is less than 6 and less than 12. So means this Y element I am comparing with both X elements. So that's why here 2 will be included in the lower bound. In the same way next Y element is called 3. This 3 is less than 6 and less than 12. So here we are comparing all Y elements with every X element. So 3 is less than 6, less than 12. So 3 is also will be included in the lower bound. So that's why here 2, 3. And if you observe 6 is also Y element and it is also called as X element. So you have to compare with itself and also with another X element which is called here 12. So 6 is less than or equal to 6 and it is also less than 12. So 6 also will be included in the lower bounds. That's why these are called 2, 3, 6 here. So why can't the other elements are called lower bounds? So in the same way, along with the 6 we have 12 also. 12 is also called as Y element. Now 12 is, so 12 should be compared with X element, both X elements. What are X elements here? 6 and 12. So 12 is Y element as well as X element. So 12 is not less than 6. But it is less than or equal to 12. But here this 12 must be less than both X elements. As we are comparing, as we are treating 12 as Y element, that should compare with both X elements which are 6 and 12 here. But 12 is less than or equal to 12, but it is not less than 6. So that's why 12 will not be included in the lower bounds. In the same way, if you go for 24 as Y element, 24 is not less than 6, 24 is not less than 12. So that's why 24 also will not be included in the lower bound. In the same way, 36 is not less than 6, not less than 12. So 36 will not be included in the lower bound. Means we are comparing all the Y elements with every X element. But out of this, we are getting only 3 Y elements as they are less than or equal to X elements, every X element. So that's why here 2, 3, 6 are called lower bounds. So in the same way we have upper bounds also. So here what are upper bounds? So in the same way here we need to find out for every X element you need to compare Y element. If that Y element is greater than or equal to X, then we can say that those are called upper bounds. So here, these are again Y elements and these are X elements too. So for every, here for example 2. So 2 is not greater than 6, not greater than 12. So we cannot include in the upper bound. 3 is not greater than 6, not greater than 12. So 6 is greater than or equal to 6, but it is not greater than 12. So I cannot include 2, 3, 6 as they are not greater than X elements. So now in the same way 12 is greater than or equal to 12 and it is also greater than 6. So I can include here 12 as the upper bound. Now 24 is greater than 6, greater than 12. Means this Y element is greater than X element, both X elements. So I can include 24 also. 36 greater than 6 and greater than 12 also. So I can include 36 also in the upper bounds. So, and if you observe here, and these three elements 12, 24, 36 are called upper bounds. Now, how to find out least upper bound and greatest lower bound, which is nothing but supremum and infimum. Now, in the lower bound, we got 2, 3, 6. So, out of this 2, 3, 6, which element is nearest to the subset? What is the subset here? 6, 12. And which element is nearest to the subset? So, obviously 6. Why? Because lower bounds 2, 3, 6. Out of this 6th element is a subset here, nearest to the subset here. That's why here 6 is called greatest lower bound. Means from the lower bounds, we will be finding out the greatest lower bound. Out of these 3 lower bounds, which one is the nearest to the subset? That is called greatest lower bound. In the same way here, if you observe, upper bounds are 12, 24, 36. Out of these 3 elements, which element is the nearest to the subset given? Obviously, 12 is the nearest to the subset. That's why 12 is called least upper bound. So, in this way, we can find out the Hasse diagram, also elements of the poset, and also we can find out lower bounds, upper bounds, least upper bound and greatest lower bound. So, in the same way, we have another subset also. Why? Because for the particular Hasse diagram, we can have many number of subsets here. So, this is one more subset. So, if we observe carefully here, so this 2, 3, 6 is also one subset from the original Hasse diagram. Now, for this particular subset, how to find out lower bounds and upper bounds? So, here these 3 are X elements and these 3 are Y elements also. So, this is Y element, this is Y element, this is Y element. So, now here, so how to find out lower bounds? So, from this 2, 3, 6 here, if you observe, 2 is X element, also Y element. 3 is X element, Y element. 6 is X element, Y element. Now, compare this Y element with X element. So, compare this Y element with all X elements here. So, 2 is less than or equal to 12. But, so 2 is less than 6. So, here 2 is less than 3. So, here we cannot compare 2 to 3. Why? Because as there is no relation between 2 and 3. So, 3 is less than 6. 3 is less than or equal to 3. But I cannot compare with another X element with 2. Why? Because as there is no relation between 2 and 3. So, that means here we don't have any lower bounds. Why? Because as per the rule, for every X element, if Y is always less than or equal to X, means here how many elements in the X here? 3. So, for all the 3 elements, you need to compare each Y element. So, each Y element, first Y element is what here? 2. So, that 2 element should compare with all X elements. So, those X elements are 2, 3, 6. So, I compared with 2, compared with 6, but I cannot compare with 3 as there is no relation between 2 and 3. So, that's why 2 is not called lower bound. In the same way, 3 is should compare with 3. Yes, it is satisfying. 3 is comparing with 6. Yes, it is satisfying. But I cannot compare with the last X element 2. Why? Because there is no connection between 2 and 3. And 6 is not less than 2. 6 is not less than 3 here. But it is less than or equal to 6. But it should compare with all X elements and it should satisfy the condition. Then only I can include that particular element in the lower bound. So, that's why there is no lower bounds for the particular subset here to the Hasse diagram. Now, here as there is no lower bound, so then I cannot get greatest lower bound also. Then coming to the upper bounds. So, what are upper bounds here? So, here if you compare here, so 6 is greater than 2, 6 is greater than 6 and 6 is greater than or equal to 6 also. Then I can include 6. Now, 12 is greater than 2, 3, 6. So that's why 12 is also included. And 24 is greater than 2, 6 and also 3. So 24 is also included. 36 is greater than 2, 3, 6. So I can include 36 also. So like this, here we got upper bounds as 6, 12, 24, 36. From this, which one is the nearest to the subset given? Obviously, 6 is the nearest one. So that's why this 6 is called here least upper bound here. So in the same way, we have another example, that is another subset from the same Hasse diagram. So what are those? 36, 24 and this is actually 24. So 36, 24, 12 and 6. So this is a subset here. If you observe here, so this is a subset. Now for this subset, we are finding out the lower bounds, upper bounds and also here greatest lower bound and least upper bound. Now let us go for the lower bound here. Now 2 is less than 6, less than 12, less than 24 and 36. So that's why I can include 2 as a lower bound. 3 is less than 6, less than 12, less than 24 and 36. Why? Because so these are X elements here and also Y elements here. And these are only Y elements. So that's why I'm comparing with this Y element for every X element subset here. This is, I'm just checking here. I'm comparing with every Y element with every X element here. Now 3 is also less than 6, 12, 24, 36. That's why 3 is also included. Now if you see 6 is less than or equal to 6. Also less than 12, 24, 36. 6 is also there. It will be included in lower bounds. Now if you see 12 here, 12 is less than 24, less than 36. But it should compare with other X element also. Why? Because Y element should compare with all other X elements. So 12 is less than or equal to 12, less than 24, less than 36. But 6 is also their X. So 6 is also called as X element. But it is not less than 6 here. It is greater than 6. That's why 12 will not be included in the lower bound. So in the same way, 24 is not. So 24 is less. It is not less than 12 and 6. So, and we cannot compare 24 with 36 as there is no connection between 24 and 36. So, that's why only for the lower bounds we have 2, 3, 6. Now, out of this 2, 3, 6, which one is the nearest to the subset? Obviously, here 6 is the subset here, which is the nearest one to the subset here. That's why the 6 is called GLB, which is called greatest lower bound. Now, coming to the upper bounds, how to find out upper bounds is here. So, if you observe here, this is a subset here. Now I am comparing with 24. So 24 is greater than 12, greater than 6. But I cannot compare with 24 with 36. So why? Because these are all X elements and also Y elements. So if I consider Y element as 24, that Y element should compare with all X elements. So I cannot compare with 36. Why? Because there is no connection here. So 24 is not a upper bound here. And even the same thing will be applicable 36 also. Why? Because 36 is not having connection with 24. So now if you go for 12, 12 is not greater than 24, not greater than 36, even though if it is greater than 6, as it should satisfy with all other elements. So in the same way, 6 is greater than or equal to 6, but it is not greater than 12, 24, 36. So I cannot include 6, 12, 24, 36 in the subset here as upper bounds. So there is no upper bound for the particular subset to the Hasse diagram. Now since there are no upper bounds, there is no LUB, least upper bound. So like this here, we can consider, we can find out how to find out lower bounds and how to find out upper bounds. And from the lower bounds, we can find out here greatest lower bound, which is called infimum. And from the upper bounds, we can find out least upper bound, which is called supremum. So today what we have discussed is, what are the elements of a poset? So how to find out the elements of a poset for the particular Hasse diagram, like least element, greatest element, minimal, maximal elements. And also we have discussed how to find out the lower bounds, upper bounds, GLB, which is nothing but greatest lower bound, and also LUB, that is least upper bound, for the given Hasse diagram. So for the particular Hasse diagram, you should have the subset. Then only for the subset, you can find out all this LUB, GLB and lower bounds and upper bounds. So by this, we'll end the session for today. Thank you.